Hello, and welcome to our Do Some Good webinar for community organizations. Look, we know that running a nonprofit or charity can be a tough job with limited resources and a lot of work to be done. But what if there's a way to reach more people, gain more support for your cause, save significant time, and make a greater impact, all without spending a dime? Well, you can. Do Some Good is a powerful community platform that is designed specifically for you. Now, you may be thinking, yet another platform to use? I don't have time to add one more thing. But we don't want you to do more work. We want to take work off your plate, give you time back, and really, you're going to see how Do Some Good could actually replace some of the platforms you're using and how it literally takes 5 minutes a week to get your charity or nonprofit in front of a ton of people, which can lead obviously to more donations, volunteers, and support. So let's dig right in. You may be asking, what is Do Some Good anyway? Do Some Good is a community engagement platform or a community ecosystem, which is made up of individuals in the community who care, community organizations like yourselves, and companies who truly want to give back. Do Some Good is not just free for you and all charities and nonprofits, but it's also free for all individuals in the community, like students, families, and volunteers. And it's all free thanks to the amazing community-minded companies who pay to use our platform. And just so you have an idea of scope, there are over 13,000 community organizations across Canada that have been supported through the use of the Do Some Good platform. Okay, so remember when I said you could build awareness for your organization and reach a ton of people by spending only 5 minutes a week? Well, that's because of Do Some Good's exciting partnership with Pattison Media. A huge thanks and shout out to the amazing team at Pattison Media. They care deeply about local good content and empowering those who are doing good to have a voice. Now, when you post stories on Do Some Good platform, your stories also hit these local Pattison Media sites where you're located. Stories like volunteer spotlights, donor thank yous, calls for volunteers, acts of kindness, requests for much needed items, whatever you like. Now, let me walk you through really how quick and easy this really is. The first thing you're going to do is log into your Do Some Good account. Now, if you don't have one, don't worry. At the end, we're going to show you how to create one in as little as 1 minute. Once you've logged into Do Some Good, you're going to click on your News tab in your navigation bar. And you can choose to post on Do Some Good as yourself, or you can post on behalf of your charity or nonprofit as an administrator. Now, obviously, people are naturally drawn to images, to visuals, interactive media, and you want as many eyes on your post as possible. So add a few images or embed content from other platforms. There are a ton of options here. If you've already posted on Facebook or Instagram or other platforms, just grab the link, paste it in there, and this will automatically populate a story to save you time. Now it's time to type out your story. Now you want to share at least a few sentences, and the key word here is authentic. People want to read real stories by real people about real impact. So don't be afraid to use some emotion in your post. Now it's time to put that cherry on top of your story by adding a headline to draw people in. And when you're happy with your story, all you do, just hit post. And bam, your story hits local media sites, and it truly is that easy. You know, what's cool about posting on Do Some Good, your charity or nonprofit can reach more people, which obviously drives more awareness for your cause. You can gain more support for your cause, and you can also strengthen relationships with your donors, with your volunteers. So you may be asking, where exactly does your story appear? Your story is going to appear on your organization's Do Some Good public profile and will hit any or all of these Pattison Media sites, depending on where you're located. When we send out this recording and slide deck, you can go ahead, click on any of these logos to see where your story will end up and what it'll look like on these sites. Now, what if you post your story and realize, oops, I didn't attach a photo or add a headline or something else that will make your story truly pop? No problem at all. We've got your back. If this happens, you'll see a little Get Promoted button on your post. Just click it to edit your post, and you're going to see some guiding tips to help improve it even further. And you may be asking, well, how often can I post? The more good news stories out there in the world, the better. So we recommend you post on Do Some Good often. But if you want your stories to hit the media, be sure to space them out by a few days. To really spread the love around, we don't tend to promote multiple posts by the same person or organization on a single day. Now, you may also find yourself posting stories on the go, like when you're at an event, picking up a donation. The Do Some Good app is perfect for this. So posting stories from your phone is a breeze. So two great options and easy options to post on Do Some Good, desktop or app, to meet your needs and your preferences. All right, just to quickly summarize, log in or create a Do Some Good account, write a story or paste in a link from another platform, press post, and your story hits local media sites, giving your organization great reach and exposure. And maybe spending 5 minutes each week and posting a few quick stories is enough for you and what you have capacity for right now. And that's totally cool. But, and here comes my cheesy infomercial voice, but wait, there's more. Now, Do Some Good actually has a bunch of other powerful free tools to help you streamline work, save you time that we want you to be aware of. And here they are. So, quick summary. You can use Do Some Good to have stories like volunteer and staff spotlights auto-created for you. You can have all your stories auto-populate on your website. We have tools that help you strengthen loyalty with your donors, tools to help you streamline your volunteer application process, and tools to help you easily recruit, schedule, and manage volunteers. And I'm going to dig into each of these briefly. So first up, you can use Do Some Good to have authentic impact stories auto-created for you. Now, there are likely a ton of powerful stories out there from your volunteers, staff, and donors that you either know about and you don't have time to collect, or you're not even aware of. Our story generator tool allows you to gather stories from volunteer, staff, and donors, essentially empowering those in your network to become brand ambassadors for your cause. It's these stories that will help you attract new donations and support to your organizations. So you might be thinking, well, this sounds great, but how does it work? Well, let's walk through a quick example. Here's an example of a volunteer spotlight form, which is one of our ready-made templates that's available to you. Now, when you send out this form to all your volunteers, they have the choice to share about their own volunteer experience, or they can celebrate another volunteer. And the template includes practical questions like how long you've been volunteering, what kind of tasks do you do, and deeper questions like why is volunteering important to you? Now, when someone fills out this form, our story generator tool grabs the responses to these questions and pieces a story together, auto-creating it for you. Each time a volunteer fills out your form, a submission comes in, you get a notification. You can also set it up to get an email. And with one click, you have a volunteer spotlight story that is ready to share. Now, if you want to change the title, headers, or shorten the length, no problem. Easily able to format and update things. And when you're ready to click post story, that's going to appear on your organization's public profile, hit Pattison media sites, and you can push your story to social media with one click. Now, you could imagine all the possibilities here because we also have ready-made templates for staff spotlights. You can also use this to spotlight your donors, or you can create a custom form from scratch. Okay, so now that those volunteer spotlight stories are on your profile, hitting media sites, wouldn't it be awesome if those stories automatically hit your website as well? Well, they can. With Do Some Good's widgets, any stories you post or are tagged in auto-populate to your website. Imagine the time you'll save and the donors, volunteers, and support you'll attract by having an up-to-date, fresh website at all times with authentic impact stories. Now, you can also create volunteer positions and events on Do Some Good and have those auto-populate on your website as well. We're going to move on to volunteer recruitment in a minute here. Okay, so let's talk about your donors and supporters for a second. Do you ever wonder how best to thank them? Well, we work with a ton of good companies all across Canada, and we'll tell you what they want: testimonials. They love when charities and nonprofits they support leave them a testimonial about the impact their donation or their support has had. Leaving testimonials for your donors is super easy on Do Some Good and will definitely help strengthen those relationships with your donors. Posting stories about their impact, tagging them, and sending them a donor spotlight form are also great ways to recognize them, which you've seen is also very easy to do. Okay, we know recruiting volunteers can be super time consuming. Now, what if you had a database of volunteers in your area that you could access who have already agreed to be contacted about volunteer work? Well, Do Some Good has that as well. You can also post public or private volunteer positions so they hit local media sites and reach a wider base. You can set up as many shifts as you need that volunteers can easily sign up for. You can have your volunteers log hours with one click, communicate with all of your volunteers very easily from within the desktop or app, and more, all in one place. No more emails and spreadsheets where everything is in a different place or confusing transitions when new staff start up. Nobody has time for that. Now let's get these things streamlined for you. And finally, you can use that same form system I showed you earlier that auto-creates stories to streamline your entire volunteer application process. We have a volunteer application template we built with feedback from charities and nonprofits that you can use as is, or you can edit it for your needs. You can collect criminal record checks, waivers, anything else you need for volunteers, again, all in one place. All right, let's do a quick recap of what we went through today. So with Do Some Good, you can get great media reach and exposure, have stories auto-created for you, have those stories auto-populate on your website. You can strengthen loyalty with donors by easily sharing testimonials, streamline your volunteer application process, and you can easily recruit, schedule, and manage volunteers. This is a ton of value for free that saves you significant time and allows you truly to focus on what matters most, which is supporting communities. Okay, look, I know I've hit you with a ton of information today. If you take just one thing away, it's that when you post a story on Do Some Good, those stories hit local media sites. If you only do that, your charity nonprofit will be in front of a ton of people, all of whom are potential donors, volunteers, and good citizens who really want to help. So if you're want to get started, just go to dosomegood.ca. There's a community organizations tab and click register. Now, similar to Facebook or other platforms, you're going to create your own personal Do Some Good account first. So as Jeff, for example, and then you'll become an administrator for the charity or nonprofit that you've registered and set up. Now, we worked very hard to make Do Some Good super easy to use. We have a great help center with screenshots, videos, everything you need. And we work with thousands of organizations all across the country. So it's challenging to help a one-to-one, but we're confident you're going to find the platform intuitive and very simple to use. One last important note. Once you are logged in to Do Some Good, be sure to update your organization's address book with all the locations you operate in. This is what we use to tell us where to post your story to on the platform and media sites. So it's super important to update this so you get the most reach and exposure possible. I've included a few steps here, and we're going to send this out with the slide deck and the video so you have everything you need to make this happen in only a few clicks. Okay, that brings us to the end of our webinar. Now, first off, thank you so much for your time and for exploring the platform with us today. And if I could ask for just one small favor, it would be that you share this video out to everyone in your charity or nonprofit network across Canada. Even if community organizations are located in areas where we don't have media partners, as you've seen, there's still a ton of value they can access for free. Now, the more organizations that use Do Some Good, the more businesses and people become aware and take action to support the great work that you're doing, which of course means more people get the help they need. It's a pretty awesome ripple effect of goodness. So help us keep it going and do some good.